Hey Roger, so countdown is on. The Australian Open is here, 2013. It's the top of the year, and man, it's such a good time. It's like a great part of the season. I can't wait to see all that beautiful sunlight and blue and the blueness of the court and all of that. Just great matches. So are you ready? You looking forward to it? I know you're ready. So actually that was the wrong question that I asked, but I know you're ready. I saw some great vids of you practicing, like with James Blake. I saw you practicing. Oh gosh, who else did I see you practicing with? A few other people, one other person. I can't remember right now, but that's cool. And oh no, like your Team Federer. That's who I saw you practicing with. So you're practicing with two people at once, and that was great. I think you should just, you had those two people on either side of the court. You should get a third one to put it. You should just play against three people. You should put three in there instead of two. Oh my gosh, did I hear in some alternate corner of my mind and echo as if you've answered oh, actually I do play with three people at times. That's awesome. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm making that up, but I saw the draw yesterday, and what an opportunity, Roger, this is an actual opportunity. The people who are in your draw are no one that you haven't beaten before. Certainly, I think, I don't want to become a hypocrite because I was talking in my last video about how you are being careful of how you're reacting to the draw and stuff like that. But I certainly think, this is definitely a sort of reminder from the universe, I guess you could say. It's so funny to use that word, universe, to really keep you, to really be the sharpener to you, as if you were sort of like a pencil, but just sharpening your mind and putting a whole series of guys in your draw whom you have beaten before, and you've gotten through, each one of these guys kind of one after the other. So for me, it feels like, okay, you know what? It's kind of sort of like what Roger had to do in Madrid last year, in other tournaments, it's just chock full of guys to get through. So, it's like you said, it's one match at a time, but I think, I look at the draw, first of all. You know what, I just broke down, Roger. You know what, I have been trying so hard to not let this leak into the video, right? But, I saw the draw yesterday, and first of all, I was like, WTF, what the, a little bit, and I love Australian Open, actually. Aussie Open and Wimbledon, they're kind of my top, or whatever. I like all of the Grand Slams, but I really enjoy the Australian Open and Wimbledon. So anyway, I had asked them on Twitter, once I saw the draw. I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding the draw, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I don't want to leak any negativity out there. But I guess I have to make room for the authenticity of my feelings. Otherwise, this video, I'm busy trying to hide my own feelings, and this video is going to come off with some sort of phony kind of energy or something to it. So I have to keep it real. I was just look at the freaking draw, and I was just like, really? Really? Okay, you know what? This is nothing that Federer hasn't had to do before and hasn't gotten past before. So this is fine. And you know what I love about you, Roger? I could sit here and I could have a bit of an attitude about this, but what I love about you is I've never heard you complain. I've never heard you complain. Even with Madrid last year, I'm so proud of you. You had other guys who were on tour complaining big time about the court and stuff like that, and you just kind of just put your head down and like, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna play, and you didn't get negative about it. So yeah, so I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about, yeah, I just kind of want to show you my tweet to AO, because they're usually pretty good, actually, very wonderful people. And so my tweet is like, well, maybe I shouldn't show you my tweet, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going to show you my tweet, because you know what, it's just not worth it. But I am going to show you AO's tweet back to me, and their answer, oops, I keep doing that crap. Let's see if I can get this stupid thing off. Ugh, I keep hitting that. This stupid phone. It's supposed to be a smartphone, but it is so dumb, let me tell you. Look at this, look at this. I can't even get the stupid phone. Okay, there we go. Alright, sorry. So they told me that your side of the draw was just basically randomness of the universe. So, speaking of universe, my trainer has always told me the universe is going to do whatever it takes to remind you that you are whole. So anywhere that you are functioning in a way where you're not fully stepped into the fullness of yourself, I don't know. I hope that I'm choosing the right words. I feel like I'm not. But anywhere that you have, like if there's any doubt, if there's been any way that you haven't been stepping into your bigness, which is what the universe wants. And I think we all kind of know this, because the universe, like I said, she says it'll do whatever it takes to remind you that you're whole. It'll just poke you right in that space that you're not stepping into. Like, it gives you a full space to be a complete and whole person, stepping out into the world, expecting the best, having a healthy sense of entitlement, meaning, self-worth and things like that. And wherever, you weren't fully stepped into that full openness of the truth of who you are as being like 100% of a whole and wonderful being. Like, wherever you're not stepped into that space, there creates like a little bit of a vortex or a void there. And the universe, I believe, these are kind of my words and my theory right now taking over, kind of, it just starts sending you every single thing you need. You know what I mean? Like, if you have issues with confrontation, like for me, I know at one point, I had a lot of issues. I don't have problems confronting an issue. I mean, I'm not like a pushover or anything, but I rather sometimes, especially in the time when I was especially younger, I'd rather not say anything if someone was rude or someone was really just a little bit out of line, or, inappropriate to a certain extent. Not terribly inappropriate, but just, I'd rather not sort of sit down and say to that person, listen, blah, 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 and I'd rather not do that, rather just let it go. But what ended up happening is that, once the person keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it, then it's kind of like, listen, I've had it, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, once, you just kind of hold everything until you, like, not blow your top, but just get to the point where it's like, I don't even care anymore. You're going to have to hear this. And then it's kind of like, the person's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. Oh my gosh, you're so sensitive. Why didn't you tell me in the first place? I mean, you could have told me this so long ago. Anyway, I'm kind of going off subject. But I tended to start attracting a lot of situations, or I don't want to say attracting, however you want to put it, but it kept on sort of repeating itself, because I kept being in this pattern of, I don't want to make waves, so just ignore it. Don't want to make waves right now, just ignore it. Say what little bit you can, and that's it. And then, if you don't, if you don't address it head on, people just continue on, and then they continue, you know, when you are addressing it, when you're upset, they just go into this whole denial thing. Oh my God, it's your fault that you didn't let me know that I was being an asshole. Oh my gosh, why did you let me know? Anyway, so, the universe, I'm sorry, I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but, I noticed I kept getting these really, you know, difficult situations at one point, like 2 years ago now, where it's like I couldn't function in that way, that old consciousness, that I wanted to, that I was previously functioning in. And it was requiring me to, like, really address things, like, right in the moment, and really learn how to address things in the moment so that there's absolute closure and resolution that absolutely served me. Even if it, you know, it's never going to serve the other person, because most likely if they're being an ass, you know, they're going to fight to continue to be an ass. That's my opinion. That's been my experience, although I know it sounds kind of negative. But anyway, I just kept having these situations, like, sent to me where I just couldn't get out of this, and I had to, like, sit people down, you know, like, there's no choice. There was no way to avoid it, you know. It's like, it gets to the point where, like, the universe just shuts down every other option except that one door that you must walk through. So, boom, finally, here, Roger Federer, I'm finally to the point. It's funny that the Australian Open used this, you know, answer to me as so-called, you know, how you got the draw you got as the randomness of the universe, because I really believe Roger Federer, I know 100%, I'm telling you, I believe and I know you can absolutely take the Australian Open 2013, you can absolutely take that cup. What I think is happening with you is that, you know, you haven't actually been stepping in fully to allowing yourself the freedom to shine in the full brilliance and talent of your tennis. And I'm talking about the mental dialogue. I'm talking about everything I've been talking about as far as mental dialogue is concerned. Your mental dialogue, your mental attitude, your cerebral thinking over the course of a 2012 year. And, you know, and also, like, how you've repaired from huge high-stake matches that you weren't able to pull the win out in the past, how you've also had to, I don't feel that you've also fully 100% repaired, and this is not negative, it's just what it is. It probably, if it's landing wrong, I apologize, because I really don't mean it like that, because, you know, you've been in a struggle, and you've been on highs and lows that no one else in tennis could ever touch, you know what I mean? There's just no one, I'm sorry, no other person, so no one could mimic your feelings 100%. No one could, you know, have that sort of mental hurdle, sort of so-called mental hurdles that I feel that you've had, given the uniqueness of your skill, the way that the public, you know, you lifted tennis to a new arena. You've had highs and lows, and with the public expectation and everything, like the way that you've had to absorb that, and I feel like you've had to sort of do it on your own outside of, you know, your personal family and friend circle. You know, you've had to go through a lot and down a road that no other tennis player, not Rod Laver, not any of those freaking guys, you know, no due respect to them, I'm just saying, you know, like, no one has had to go through what you've had to go through. Djokovic and Rafa, they came after you, and they came from a different place than you, they came from a different skill set as you, a different situation as you, you know, everything with these other tennis players have always been in relation to Roger Federer. How is everyone else doing in relation to Roger Federer? Like, Roger Federer came in and created this whole new paradigm for tennis. So whenever your lows, you know, whenever whenever you have lost a match, you know, I always talk about AO 2009 and also Wimby 2008. I always talk about that stuff. Maybe it's my own issues too. Maybe not yours. Maybe I'm just pushing them on you. But nah, I don't think so. But no other tennis player really had to do that. I don't care. McEnroe, Borg, all due respect to them and stuff like that. They didn't have to even go through what you've had to go through. All of the harsh criticism. You've created such a high mountain, and then it kind of feels like you've had to, go down to the depths that other tennis players haven't gone down to. So I feel like ever since a certain period in time, I feel like that's always been like a bit of a hurdle, and that now the at the top of the year 2013, it seems like you've done everything. Like you're like, I want to practice more. I want to shorten. I want to shorten up my season strategically to support my needs, to support personally and professionally. I want longevity. I want to actually win. So now that you've like kind of gotten your goals in a stack, it's like the universe is now responding to whatever the hell else is hanging out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's my personal theory, and you might be like, what the hell is she talking about? Oh, she is just off in another realm. I can't even. But anyway, so I'm just gonna go on my little philosophical continue on my little metaphysical rant here. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm looking at again, World Tour Finals. In my last video I talked about there's a number of matches I think you could have gone a hell of a lot further along in, and that's not saying, oh my gosh, you should have. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, in just a general assessment, which probably doesn't land right. But, of course, World Tour Finals, you should, I feel like you should definitely have won that. But it's the mental impediment, and I feel like now that you've made this, real assessment about how you want to approach 2013, the universe is kind of stepping to you and saying, we're going to remind you that you're whole, You're gonna be on every single match, Roger. It's gonna be great. For you, I have absolute faith and belief. I know you can get through every single guy in this draw, and keep going, But I think what's gonna happen is this was presented to you because of the fact that it is a calling for you to start moving the noise out and just keeping the natural mechanics of the body, the mechanics and the talent and the self-trust, like allowing that to really just continue to flow naturally into your matches and not have the mind be such an impediment, shutting off different what I always say, like you're shutting off your focus, shutting off the voice of self-trust, shutting off that mechanism that connects mind, body, and mechanics, and self-belief, heart and soul, all of those things together, so that you could just be out there winning, out there just focusing, hitting the ball, creating shots that bringing the points for you. So that's what I really just struck me. I didn't think so much about this at all before the video, but when I went to go talk about the Australian Open's tweet answer to me, and they said it's randomness of the universe, it just is like, wait a minute, yeah, man, it just kind of hit me like it kind of came together, because I was thinking like, this is just an absolute calling for you to make sure that you are, first of all, preparing yourself by having a huge support, maybe not a huge support team, but I think a really vigilant support system outside of Team Federer, because like I said in my last video, you guys are like running the same road. You've all been in the same emotional ups and downs. So you need somebody outside of that circle who's going to hold that rope and say, hey, Roger, no, or whatever. And you're going to be like, oh, someone will bring a point and they'll say something. You'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't realize that I was kind of even, functioning in this manner or whatever. So just, I think these 2 weeks or whatever, having that friend, that real person who's going to get on top of you, not just somebody who's going to get on the phone and be like, go ahead, go kick ass, not that, but really like, okay, where are you going with this? Like, how are you feeling right now? And really getting real about, even like, I'll give you a 2-minute yoga incorporation. Like, if you are wrestling with any sort of doubt or any sort of anxiety, I think a good thing to do is just sit down, knees, legs crossed, arms on the knees, sit up straight, of course. And there's something that I've explained in one of my videos in the past called the Dirga breath. It's a yogic breathing technique. It's a 3-part breath, and what it involves is first inhaling slowly and evenly, and as you inhale, you're pushing out your stomach. So the stomach is sort of just drawing in the air. It's drawing in the air. It's allowing the air to fill the belly. And then from there, you're actually filling the rib cage with air. And then from there, you're actually filling the chest. So you can actually practice that. Just put it in again, you're just sort of sucking in air, almost like your stomach has a straw. So you're it'd be good if you could kind of hear me breathing, but maybe not. But just do it slowly and evenly. Don't kill yourself or anything. Like, if you get here and you're like, oh, I can't do anymore, which I doubt. You're really, you're in great shape, so you can do it. But it's, again, pushing the belly. The belly is going to be pushed out as you're sucking air in through the nose, through the rib cage, through the chest, and everything is full. And then you're going to pull the belly button back to the spine. Not straining anything, not forcing anything, but allowing the breath to leave the body very evenly, very evenly. And what you want to do is, as you're having any anxiety, you want to breathe right into those areas. Like, wherever you're feeling that anxiety as well, you just want to kind of draw the breath like right into those areas, and then sort of exhale right out of those areas. So you're gonna feel that anxiety, like you're gonna feel it, you're gonna be conscious of it, and you just breathe right into that area. You know what I mean? Like, you're just sort of imagining this into your mind. You're just sort of projecting the breath. Obviously, like, if you're feeling some anxiety in your heart area, obviously you're not going to be able to breathe literally maybe into that area, but you're projecting the breath and that calm, intent focus right into that area. And then you're exhaling it out. So again, the Dirga breath is, you're breathing in, filling the belly evenly, slowly, relaxed. Then the rib cage, evenly, slowly, relaxed. And then the chest area, evenly, slowly, relaxed. And you can even hold it, like, once you fill, then you start pulling the belly button in toward the spine slowly. Having an even breath. Exhaling that all the way out. Exhaling that anxiety out. And if you're feeling it in any part of your body too, that's like a freaking most powerful thing about yoga is like you start stretching out that anxiety through your postures and your poses and incorporating the breath at the same time. So that for me, I would tell you would be a great way to follow up to the points that I made in the last video, is definitely getting into incorporating your breath. It is going to bring you back into focus, and it's going to bring you back into the truth of just functioning and not getting caught off into the noise of any anxiety, but just staying focused, like staying in alignment with the mind, the functioning of the body, the mechanics of the body, and not too much thinking, because your reflexes are just going to take over. When your reflexes, when you're playing with your reflexes, you're getting the ball in, you're hitting it right. You don't need to second guess yourself. You are just flowing. You're in the zone, kind of like, like Michael Jordan, like he would get in the zone. Like that's the one thing. Michael Jordan was like freaking a clutch player. Like he just really had that ridiculous talent, like right there in that moment when it needed it, he hit that shot, you know what I mean? And the only way that he was able to really do that is to really return to making sure that there wasn't that alignment there, and not like, oh my gosh, there's 2 seconds left on the clock, oh my gosh, we're gonna lose this championship if I, what if I miss, oh my gosh, what if I miss? No, when those moments actually presented themselves, he always sort of had a brilliant way of really getting into that zone, really. And I don't think it's so much necessarily hard once you master the truth of just knowing, like, let me just be. And I think a way to just be is to be with the breath, because, like Michael Jordan, you Roger Federer, you already have all the mechanics in your body. Your muscles already know the information of how to hit a backhand, cross court and still inside. And sometimes you even do it and you're not even like looking. You just you'll hit it and you won't even be looking where the ball's going. It's like you're feeling it. You already know it. The muscles know it. They know the distance. They know all the mathematics, the amount of force needed, the amount of angle needed. Like, that's your brilliance right there. And if you are just, I think if you connect with the breath and you take time to do this, like practice tonight, and practice like in the middle of a match, like when you feel that sensation of anxiety building up, and even before then, anytime you can remember to do this, like do the Dirga breath, do it anytime you can, incorporate it in there anytime you can. And don't get too crazy with it though. Make sure you you're taking it, steadily. You don't have to do it all day and all night and stuff like that, because sometimes you actually can get yourself lightheaded. That's actually another way that people actually practice getting high. They actually abuse pranayam, the practice of the breath. Like, you can actually get yourself like spaced out and high by doing too much intense breathing. But the Dirga breath for me is like very gentle, and it really tends to recenter yourself. Like there's no anxiety. It really tends to like recenter the body. So I wish you well with practicing that. And I believe Dirga is spelled Dirgha. If you want to take a look it up. Since I couldn't give you like all ridiculous like detail about it, it'd be good to look up. But I definitely think incorporating breath, and that doesn't mean Roger just going like this. That's better than not taking a breath at all. But if you do the Dirga breath, I'm telling you, like, you're going to be able to render the noise of the mind, the noise of any anxiety, those false truths that are happening. And the reason why I say false truths is because, the body starts making up things. If you missed an important shot, or somebody just pulled off a great shot against you, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start to lose. Oh my gosh, I needed that point. Oh my gosh, this was an important part of the game. And you're starting to generate thoughts from a place of fear, which, and the fear is, of course, being generated from the belief that you're going to lose. So your mind has already started making up a scenario that hasn't come to it, that doesn't even exist. So you got to remember to hold on to reality, to bring yourself back, and the breath is the best way to do it. Like, that Deirdre breath is dope. Like, oh my gosh, even when you're doing it on a changeover, like, just do it. It's just sipping your bottle and stuff. Like, just take a moment to do it. No one's gonna probably really notice, I don't think. But I think this is a calling for you, and that you get these kind of draws quite frequently. So it's just kind of like, and you get through these draws successfully. It's like a lot of these guys don't even have the kind of draws that you have. You know what I mean? But by my saying that, I hope I'm not like planting a seed, or I don't want to create like any sort of indirect negativity. But just stay focused and keep your positive attitude that you always keep. But I do think this is a calling. Like, as long as you are not in alignment to just allow the body to function in the brilliance that your muscles that just exist in you, the universe is going to keep sending you draws like this and situations like this. If you want this, you want your legacy, like, this is an absolute practice, to know that there's a difference between things being tough and things requiring a high level of momentary alignment, being in the zone, like Michael Jordan, hitting that shot when it really matters, rising to the occasion, and rising to the occasion should not be, I don't think, for Jordan, all the times that I saw him play throughout those 6 rings, I think 6 championships where he got 6 rings, that when he was pulling off the shot, it didn't require any more effort, skill than he already possessed. It just required a quietness, that Zen quiet in the mind, where you just simply are not thinking, oh my God, there's a possibility of all the noise, the false noise, the things that take you off kilter, rather than returning to just the truth of who you are, bringing yourself back to basics, and going, you know what? It's time for me to connect. My absolute only way that I'm going to be able to focus in the moment is to be able to go right within and have everything available by being right within, being rightly centered, and hitting that shot. That's the only way, because I can't do it like if I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta make sure I gotta hit the shot, I gotta work hard, I gotta do la 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 la, like, it's just not gonna work. Either you air yourself out, because you're so busy, or, you end up creating this false sense like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try so hard, and then you mess up anyway, and now you created this belief like, I can't do it, I tried and I couldn't, and in these moments I can't do it, and this is painful, and la 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 la. You see what I'm saying, Roger? So I believe you're on the right track. I know, Roger, you can absolutely win this Australian Open. I'm so behind you as usual. I know from my own personal life experience in more than one occasion that I mentioned in this video that, like my trainer said, the universe is going to do whatever it takes to remind you that you are whole. And the fact that it's a calling for you to actually step into that void that you've allowed to kind of hang out there in your sphere, and just perform, without second guessing, without, to the best of your ability. You know, it's just saying all of a sudden you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to have any more doubts or any more anxiety because I'm 100% superhuman. It's not saying that, but just saying that the truth of the matter is the way you're going to win is like, the Michael Jordan approach. It's like that zen in the moment. The only way you're going to win is to have the mind completely clear in the important moments, especially in the important moments. But every moment's going to be important. But I'm just saying, if there are crucial moments that come up, you're not going to be, oh my gosh, this is a crucial moment. Which, again, went on in Australian Open 2009 and Wembley 2008. So, it's not to be like, oh my gosh, it's pointing those out. See, you did bad here. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. It's just that I want to see, I know you can do this, and I want to see you do this. I have absolutely all 100% faith and believe. I know you can take this, Roger. I'm telling you. Let me lean in one more time. Like, I absolutely know you can take this tournament. I have no doubt whatsoever. But I think it's great to kind of have an approach, or if you're already feeling good, you do what you need to do. Like, you're already feeling good or whatever. But I think, like, the Australian Open 2010, like, you came in, like, you were just like a Mack truck. You were just, you are like a man with a purpose. Like, from match one, I said every single one of the matches, all the way to kicking Murray and getting the cup, So, I just feel like, like, lean forward in that manner again. But again, the way to move out the sort of scars from the past and stuff like that, which I still think you bring on to the court with you, which is, it's just human, it's normal, scars that I've had from the past, I bring with me to stuff, and it leaks into stuff too. So, we're all in this together. But, I think it's important, and I kind of went off course earlier, but to have, for these 2 weeks, to have a couple of really dedicated friends who are really going to be able to keep you, out of that, and just go, okay, Roger, where are you with this, where's your mind going? All right, I noticed that you're saying certain stuff, and feels like there's a little bit of an energy leak there, Roger. I feel like, let's sort of do something to shift that thinking, like you're saying, hopefully I can get to whatever, it's kind of like you're giving the opportunity up to someone else. I'm not saying that you've said that, but I thought I read somewhere that you said you use that word hopefully again. And for me, as a friend, I would say, okay, so what's going on that you're saying hopefully? Like, you feel like your opportunity is going to come or be determined by someone else. Like, how can you just, take back your power? And this is not, saying, like, I don't know, like, if you're a believer in God, it's not like wiping God out or anything like that. But how are you going to step into your power and really just do your best? And when you do your best, like you actually said, which was freaking great, when you're playing at your best, you can win tournaments. So I love that attitude. Saying it on the conscious level is great, but I think also making sure that you're really vigilant and you have those couple of friends who are going to make you get it down into your cellular memory, and as you're doing that, again, getting that down into your cellular memory, that you're actually healing the scars from and the fears and the defensive mechanisms that have come up as a result of, certain other matches in the past, like maybe the unpleasantries through the press and how people view you or whatever, how they feel they view you, all having to deal with all of that being associated with a loss on a grand scale, and really just healing that and sort of like pulling in that Michael Jordan reality again. Is like, wait a minute, you know, like, you don't need to bring that onto the court. You don't need to bring that into a new match or anything. All of that kind of thinking that causes errors, that causes you to, you know, not be focused, or be out of line. Because I don't want to say you're not a person who's not focused. I'm just sort of using that word loosely. And even though I've said it quite a few times. But you know, coming back in like Jordan and just really stepping into like, here's the moment, here's the here and now. Roger, you know, like, when you're in the here and now, you can't worry about what's in the past, and you don't worry about what's in the future. You're not trying to, you can only be in the present, which is really, it's very obvious. But somebody said that last week, and it kind of reminded me of also the Japanese language. You know, in Japanese, apparently there's really no future tense. You know how in French there's a future tense, in English there's a future tense, in Spanish there's a future tense, but in Japanese, if I remember correctly, there's no future tense. And it's kind of hard to understand that until I heard someone say the other day, like, well, you never live in the future. You only can live in the present. It's true. No, there never really is a future. There's only a present. Now, sure, there's going to maybe be many more presents which are considered future. Sure. But it's a very interesting sort of school of, it's an interesting, you know, concept. It makes real good sense. And honestly, that's the way things are going to get done if you're living right in the present. And how you're going to live in the present is playing. How can I be my best friend playing from match to match? What's my attitude going into this match? What do I want from this match? How do I want, you know, make a contract with yourself, like I talked about before Wimbledon. You know, make yourself a championship contract. Like, how am I being my best friend from point to point? How am I being my best friend off the court? How am I, you know, working with my mind to keep myself mentally clear and open so that my body can just focus? Because Roger, you know, when you're all in alignment, like, you're freaking winning. So winning and, you know, to a certain extent, practicing for you, in my view, really kind of, I don't want to say isn't the answer, because I don't want to kind of put another sort of negative thing, but you know, it's the mental thing. It's just about not allowing the noise to sort of, you know, like, I'm just going to turn the head, like, when there's noise, oh my gosh, you know, this, that, oh, I'm nervous, what if I lose, oh, you know, like, at World Tour Finals, like, you look nervous, you look not centered, like you came out on the court like that. No, you were playing well, you know, you air it out, you know, making errors that just, it's just not, shouldn't be in the same realm as a Roger Federer type of entity. So, yeah, so when you're in the moment, I just lost my train of thought, but, you know, when you're in the moment and I'm sorry. When you're start thinking and all that noise and stuff, it's almost kind of like your head gets, not your head personally, but I'm just saying energetically, maybe the head gets sort of severed from the body. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, like the functions, the everything that you need to do in order to function properly is not going correctly because the fear from maybe the past is now filtering into the present, creating the future that doesn't even exist, you know? So you want to be present, you want to keep the head like this, and you're going to be able to do that by, I'm telling you, do the Dirga breath. If you don't like a Dirga breath, please get on YouTube and look up another form of breathing, breathing technique. There's so many of them. But the Dirga breath is really grounding. It just really gives your mind a moment to center, to focus, for me personally, and really pulls you into the moment. And it's is so good for all of the cells in the body, that it removes out the anxiety, the noise, the fear, and you could then concentrate. You feel a real sense of purpose and power. So again, just take a look at that. Like I said, think about the Michael Jordan thing. Think about your championship contract. How you want to come into the first week. How you want to whatever order it is in. How do you want to be just on moment to moment. 'Cause that's what's really going to do it. Work for you at Wimbledon, Roger, and it may not have been fun and stuff like that, but I think if you keep practicing that, you're going to go all the way. That's just that, like, I really believe, I know, like, you could totally win the Australian Open this year. I know without doubt you can do it. And I'm waiting for you to do it. And you already seem like you're on an amazing mission, and you're all ready to be sitting there holding that cup, and you've taken the measures, and you're putting in the work, and you're doing all of the good stuff. So I commend you as a fan, again. But I just want to give you some last minute stuff in case I don't get to make another video before the Australian Open starts, which starts in 2 days for you, but I think it's you probably don't play until the second day, I think, right? But I'm not totally sure. So, good luck with that. Just think about having the friend who, I think, like, fiercely, having your morning intention, your bedtime intention, like, before bed, like, tapping into that, like, I realign myself into embodying triumph, embodying championship. I see the way through all of my matches. I see the way to the win. I embody the win. I am the win. I'm the championship. And really just, tapping into those favorite moments of your heroes right before bed, and being like, you know what, I declare having a restful night, and I declare tapping into their championship knowledge of all my heroes while I'm sleeping. And oh my God, that freaking works so good, Roger. Like, all of the knowledge, all of the embodiment, all of just the, physical or mental quiet, and mental and physical alignment that's needed for the win. And you're gonna, you can totally do this. I know, like I said, I have no doubt, seriously. So I think you should do that. And then when you get up in the morning, just really, what do you want your day to look like? My day is free and clear. I'm breezing through everything. I don't know how you want your day to look like, but I see answers in my matches. I see answers. I see openings. I hit the winner. I'm focused. I am calm and collected in all of my matches. I'm in the zone in all the proper moments. I increase my faith. That's another thing too. Like, if you're really, like, I don't know how religious you are or whatever, but you can call on your higher ups, your helpers, all of those. Team of light, call them, team of victory, whatever, the divine, team of light, divine team of victory, whatever, call on them, for all those answers, and just to keep yourself faith, increase my self-trust, increase my willingness to trust. Let me heal in the areas I need to, that are not serving, my alignments and my self-trust. And you already have talent, Roger. You've already beaten these guys and stuff like that, unless it's just some little new thing that you want to learn by having more practice. That's fine, but really at the end of the day, it's always going to come down to the mind. So how you're going to do that is, again, having the friend help you do the bedtime intention. It's just 2 weeks of your life. Try this. You know what I mean? Do the bedtime intention. Make sure, do a midday check. Make sure how you're feeling. Make sure your team as well. Mirka, Paul Anacone, Nick Anacone, all of those guys. Like, you don't want to see any worry in their eyes, any worry in their aura. So you might want to encourage them to, like, get into this 15-day, positivity victory championship focus diet, going on championship diet, you know what I mean? What's Paul Anacone's championship contract, he seems like a really positive guy though, but still, you guys have been through a lot, so you got to be careful of the energy leaks, and it's nothing to be afraid of or anything like that. I'm saying be careful, but even with Mirka too, because she's been through a lot emotionally. Like, you want the entire team to energetically sort of be able to shift out any sort of any sort of energy leaks, that won't be serving your momentum, and it will leak out. People could just be having thoughts or feelings, or you could just pick something up sort of from anyone on your team. So it's good to kind of get them into that as well. And like, utilize your friends. Again, get on the phone, someone who's gonna be like, all right, Roger, I'm hearing the languaging, you might want to shift your languaging around a little bit. It's not going to be a tough match. It's going to be a match that's going to require you to be on every single moment. It's going to require you to filter out the noise and, get Michael Jordan and go into the zone. You have the talent, Roger Federer. You don't need to turn or gear up to a certain extent. You just need to, hear that quiet. It's the quiet of the mind, and let the mechanics take over. Just like when you do that backhand shot and you're not even looking, and it hits beautifully across the court. The mind, the body, the arm, the muscles, the cells already know this. So, you can trust that you're already at championship level, and I will see you at championship point, my friend. See you there. But I will, we'll go step by step. But I'm just telling you, I know you can take this. Keep up the good work. I'm gonna try to keep making videos. Seems like I might have a little bit of time now since I've been so freaking sick. Like, I've been sick like 2 weeks straight. So I might even have the chance to, like, watch the Australian Open, or watch a hell of a lot more tennis than I've been able to watch in 2012. I might be able to see, like, all your matches, which would be crazy good. So good luck, my friends. Sending you so much love, championship and light. And, I wish willingness to you. I wish high awareness to you. And not only just awareness on the court, but just awareness of where you are with yourself. And awareness and a willingness when someone poses something to you, that you're able to look at it and say, you know what? Oh my gosh, yeah. I am still functioning, I need to completely change, like, shift my thoughts here or whatever. Even though you're very positive though, I feel like you're starting off the year positively and all that really good, great stuff. Like, I love it that you're like, I know I'm playing well. I know when I play well, I win. So that's just all you need to know. When you're playing well, you win. You're playing well, you win. And channeling the Michael Jordan clutch energy, Nothing special and over superhuman has to necessarily be done. Or no overexertion has to be done in a match in the crucial moment. The only thing that has to happen is that there has to be the quiet in the mind and the complete alignment. So that means no noise, no making up stuff, bringing stuff from the past, making up a fake future that hasn't happened yet. It's like staying in the moment and delivering. And the only way to deliver is, again, be quiet. Return to that quiet area, return to that zen, and get in the zone like Jordan used to do with those shots in the last minute. Excuse me. And a way that's going to help you do that is to really do the Dirga breath, like, on the changeovers, or really pulling in that breath when you feel that sensation of anxiety coming in, like, or you feel like you're losing a grip or losing control off of maybe a bad point that you just made and you're about to serve again, or someone just hit an amazing point and then you're kind of still in that a little bit, and you're not 100% focus when they're ready to serve. So, bringing in that breath is like a fucking reset button. I'm sorry, curse, but it's like that reset button of calm, focus, and control. So here we are. I've talked a really long time, but sending you guys so much love, good luck, and like I said, Roger, I absolutely have all faith and confidence. I know you can absolutely do this, and the universe has sent this to you so that you can have the practice to sharpen your mind. I think it's sort of recognizing to a certain extent, like the World Tour Finals. That should have been yours, absolutely, and it's like you're being sent to this draw to be able to have sharpen the mind and be reminded that you need to focus every moment, and that you're going to stay in the present, and that you're going to use your breath. The breath is what's going to really keep you there and keep that pass out of that pass from leaking into your matches, and you're going to be able to win because you're going to be right. You're going to be staying in the moment, just like you did at Wimbledon, my friend. So excited. I'm pleased and blessed to be on this journey with you. Just struck me like that in this moment. I'm just blessed. It's a wonderful time to be in existence with people like you, people like Jordan, living in the same time as you guys, and just knowing that your example just forwards the consciousness of other people. Like, you the fact that you keep playing at a high level for as long as you have been is only helping other players to realize that they don't have to shut things down at a certain age, that they can continue to persevere. So, just continue to blaze that trail, and I'm proud of you as a fan. So I will, again, talk to you soon. Have a good one. Good luck. And although I know you won't need it, because I just really have an amazing feeling about the Australian Open. I know that this is going to be a new place in tennis for you. Guaranteed. See ya.